Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. In my last video, I have talked about our very few contents of our scrotum. In brief, if you have seen that video, then click on the button and watch the video now. Today, I'm going to talk about one of the most important content of scrotum, which is testes or testicles. Look, testes, testicles, these are very commonly used our medical terms. Okay, and normally we say balls of man. Okay, in these balls, our future generations remains. Okay, I mean our sperm. Production of sperm, storage of sperm are always in our naturally occurs in these testes. Now, one thing you have to know about that whenever you're going to write the word testis, you have to always careful about the fifth letter of the word. Okay, if you're going to say single, you will use I always. If you say plural, you will use E always. Okay, but if you are very smart, then you will write testicle or testicles. As you can see in this photo, we have two testicles. One is right side and other is left side. Both testicles are equal in size, and the size of the testicles depends man to man. Okay, few men has small testicles, few men has large testicles, but on an average, globally, most of the men has average medium-sized testicles. Okay. Now the length of the testicles ranges from 2 cm to the 5 cm. Okay, and the broadness ranges from 2.5 cm to the 3.5 cm. Okay, and the thickness ranges from 1.5 cm to the 3 cm. Okay, so this is the overall size of the one testicles. Now as you can see in this photo, the testicles has few features like it has two poles, upper pole, lower pole, two borders, anterior border, posterior border, two surface, medial surface, lateral surface. Okay, upper pole is tilted forward, and the anterior border is covered by our Tunica Albuginea, which I talked about in my last video, and the posterior border is open. It is not covered by anything. Okay, now as you can see this photo, in the cross section of our testicles, there's the entire testicles is made by it is formed by our very tough shell known as Tunica Albuginea. Okay. And inside of this Tunica Albuginea, there are multiple lobes, and lobes are filled with our seminiferous tubules. Okay, like these are coil-shaped tubes. Now, if I zoom this photo, then you can see all these seminiferous tubules merges together and forms a network which we call reticities. Now, each lobes are separated by a septa testis. Anyway, after the formation of the network, which is known as reticities, all these tubules get outside of the testis, which is the gateway or entry or exit way. This gateway is known as hilum of testis. Okay, now as you can see the circular point, which is known as mediastinum of the testis. Now see, all these network, I mean the reticities forms the efferent ducts and get outside of the testis. Epididymis, the head of the epididymis, which I already said is attached with our upper pole, and the body of epididymis is just a little bit separated, because if the separation is necessary because the vein are going outside, arteries are going inside, and this gap area is known as sinus of epididymis, as I already told about that. And this is the body and this is the tail of epididymis. Okay, and now first of all, our Tunica Albuginea. It is made by our white color dense fibrous connective tissue. Okay, now this Tunica Albuginea covers the anterior border of the testis, but it doesn't cover the posterior border. It partially covers the lateral surface of the testis. Okay, extra knowledge point here is Tunica Albuginea is also present in the female ovary. I'll talk about it later. But the differential point is male Tunica Albuginea is much thicker than the female Tunica Albuginea in ovary. Okay, that's it. Now the lobes of the testis. Okay, see, lobes, lobule, both are same word. Okay, you can say whatever you want. Now here is the point that I already said that the size of the testes differs individually. Okay, now each testis consists of 250 to 300 amounts of lobes. Okay, see, the right side testis has 250 to 300 because the range is depends on person to person. Okay, and the left side testis also has 250 to 300. Okay, and each lobes are conical shaped. The exit point of the lobe towards the mediastinum of the testis, as you can see in this photo. Okay, and each lobes are filled with fine coil shaped tubes which are known as seminiferous tubules. Okay, and each lobes are separated by septa. The septa is the continuation part of the Tunica Albuginea. Okay, now the seminiferous tubules. Okay, see, each lobe contains of each seminiferous tubule. Okay, and this tubules has two types or the two forms. Inside of the lobe it is convoluted or zigzag formation. Okay, it's circular coil manner. Okay, but when the tubules are going out of the lobe and going towards the mediastinum part of the testis, it becomes straight. Okay, now inside of the lobe, the wall of the lobe is covered by very specialized form of cell. Okay, very genetically specialized form of cell. These are known as sustentacular cell. These cells also known as Sertoli cells. Okay, now these cells are extremely important for our mankind. Okay, this cell produces our sperm via spermatogenesis. The mechanism I will talk about later, not now. Now these cells also secrete a very specialized form of protein, which is androgen binding protein. Now the Sertoli cells works under the hormone, very specialized hormone, which is known as testosterone. Okay, and this testosterone influences the production of the sperm via spermatogenesis inside of the seminiferous tubules. And now coming to the next point. Inside of the seminiferous tubule, this sperms goes cell division, very specialized form of cell division, which is known as meiosis. Now reticities. What happens? All these seminiferous tubules inside of the lobe, which were convoluted or compiled or coil shaped or zigzag manner. Now when it comes outside of the lobe, it becomes straight seminiferous tubule, and it gets outside of the lobe and goes forward towards the mediastinum part of the testis. Now see, all these straight seminiferous tubules getting outside of the lobe and connects with each other and forms a localized network. This network we call it reticities. Okay, this network formation presents at the gap space at the posterior part of the testis. This gap area or the hollow or the space area is known as mediastinum part of the testis. And now our efferent tubules. See, each testis has 15 to 20 numbers of efferent tubules, which are already formed by our reticities. Okay, and it is going towards the epididymis. Okay, I mean the head part of the epididymis. Okay, inside of these efferent tubules has two type of cell. One is ciliated columnar epithelium and non-ciliated or plain type of columnar epithelium. Okay, and this ciliated columnar epithelium thrust or projects these sperm towards the epididymis. Okay, due to the cilia it shuffles. Anyway, and also our efferent tubules is formed by smooth muscle. Now this contraction of smooth muscle, it works as a peristalsis movement, and it helps the sperm to go from efferent tubules to the epididymis. Okay, that's it. Now as you can see in this photo, this is a part of our epididymis. Okay, and it is a hollow tube-shaped organ which attaches with our upper pole of the testis. Now this entire single epididymis is very narrow and densely compacted or tightly coiled tube, which is almost 6 to 7 meter long. Okay, the continuation part of the body. Okay, the head and the body is little bit separated from the, suppose here I am coming in frontally, suppose this is the posterior lateral part of the testis, and this is the epididymis, which is covers only the upper pole of the testis. This body part is gap. Okay, body is little bit separated from the posterior surface or the posterior border of the testis. This gap area is known as sinus of epididymis. Okay, nothing else. After the body, it forms tail. Okay, so epididymis has three parts: head, body, tail. Inside of the epididymis has very special type of epithelium is known as stereocilia. Okay, now stereocilia projects the sperm from upside to downside, as the head is upside and the body and tail. So the stereocilia shifts or projects the sperm from upside to downside. Okay, also this epididymis has smooth muscle, so also contracts and acts like peristalsis. Along with this pterodactyl and smooth muscle, the entire surface of the epididymis from inside is covered by very few important cells like principal cells, basal cells, apical cells, clear cells, intraepithelial lymphocytes, intraepithelial macrophages, and pterodactyl, which I will talk about all these things in my special videos, not here. Now, here is one extra knowledge point is, as I said, inside of the seminiferous tubule, meiosis occurs. Okay, and after the meiosis formation, the sperms are little bit immature. Okay, it's not mature yet. It travels through the straight seminiferous tubule, through the reticities, through the ductus efferent, through the epididymis. Okay, inside of epididymis, there is a special area known as caput of epididymis. Now, inside the caput, there is very special protein secretes, which is known as immobilin. What happens? This sperm absorbs this immobilin and activates their motility of the sperm, which is I will talk about later. Okay, how sperm works. Now, this immobilin protein secretes inside of the caput part of the epididymis. This is the action knowledge point. Now, the vas deferens, as I am continuing, there's after the tail of epididymis, it continues as vas deferens. This is very tortuous and convoluted, as you can see in this photo. Now, the diameter of the vas deferens is 2 to 3 millimeter, and the length of the vas deferens is almost 30 to 35 centimeter. So here is our ultimate anatomy of our testis, or the balls of man. Till then, bye.